Thank you so much. My name is HEX Crypto. Today is Saturday, February 4th. Folks, it has been a crazy start to the year already, and so far we've had plenty of green candles. Loving seeing what's happening in the price action of HEX, especially as of yesterday. Yesterday, that price of HEX has just been screaming on up. It's been nice green candles for everyone. I hope everyone is absolutely loving them green candles. I know I am. And so let's see what we have going on as well. All right, let me share this screen over here and pull this up. So, of course, if you haven't seen this lately, folks, we have got some nice, pretty green candles happening. As of yesterday alone, HEX went up 30%. We'll say 29.25%. I'm going to count that as 30. 30% in one day. Oh my gosh. I hope y'all aren't sleeping on this one because it's definitely going to keep on moving, keep on hauling, and keep doing what it's doing this whole time. So let's check it out. I got everything all high right now. Hi, Debbie G. What's up? Hello. Patreon supporter, as always. Much love. Hello. Thank you so much. Happy Saturday to you, Miss Debbie. Hope you're having a wonderful start to the weekend. I know this has been an absolute awesome start to mine. Seeing HEX currently sitting at 4.526 cents. And folks, even earlier today, before I started this stream, it actually got as high as 4.963. Oh my gosh. We're so close to breaking the 5-cent threshold that has been holding us back for so freaking long. If you come over here to this screen, you can see exactly what I'm referring to. So this whole little area of resistance, we've been fighting this level for quite some time. And look how much limit orders have just been eaten up as of the last couple days. Folks, when we pass 5.5 cents, there's not much pressure to sell HEX anymore. So I don't know what's going to happen at this point in time. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I hope you're just as excited to see what's going to happen because currently we're sitting at this was earlier when you refresh this page, but it was sitting at 4.88 cents for HEX. And some of these limit orders are sell. These are everything to the left of the red line, like we've talked about. These are sell orders in place. Everything to the right of the red line is buy orders. So people are still looking to scoop up some more HEX, especially around the 4.25 cent level, 4.2 cent level, even down to 4 cents all in all. So if you are setting limit orders and you're trying to play ahead and play the market as well so you can capture these prices, be mindful of where other people also have their limit orders set, because essentially what you want to do is try to play it before them. So if you see a big wall right here for buying around 4.175 to 4.25, you might want to set it here around 4.27, 4.26, somewhere in there, right? 4.3, right? Somewhere in here if you're trying to set limit orders to scoop up some more HEX. I definitely am a big fan of limit orders. I don't believe in doing market buys anymore. I think most of the time whenever I would do a market buy, I would get caught up in the hype. I don't even need that. I don't have any music going on in my headphones, so I don't even need that on right now. But you would get caught up in the hype. I know I would, right? I would get emotional with it. I would make a rash decision. Not necessarily rash decision, I want to say, but I'd be like, damn it, dude, I need to buy it I need to get it before it's 5 cents because once we pass 5 cents, sky's the limit. And then I would buy it here, 4.9, damn near the local high, at least for now, right? This would have been me, right? Back in the day, I would have bought it right here, 4.9, and been like, I need to get it right before 5 cents. Like, I just woke up. I need to do a market buy right now. And then I would buy it, and then it would drop and do what it's doing now, and it would drop down to like 4.5. 4.4, and I'm just like, I wish I would have waited. And it's like you go through these same emotions every single time. So start learning from those mistakes or points in time, right? Like use that as a learning lesson. Stop making that same mistake. If you realize that you've done that so many times, raise your hand if you feel like that's you. You know what I mean? I know that's personally me. whenever I would do a market buy, I'd be like, damn, dude, I didn't mean to get in. I had to get in right away, right? And then the price would start dropping, and I'm like, man, I could have just waited. Like, I don't know why we all have to go through that same little cycle of emotions. It's really unnecessary. Start learning how to set limit orders. It's so much more peaceful in your mind. You can set limit orders on the way up and on the way out. Or I guess on the way up and the way down. What's up, Tin Top? Hello. Happy Saturday to you, my friend. So, yeah, I mean, it was actually pretty interesting because, you know, with HEX, there's been a lot of stuff going on as of late. Richard Hart's made some announcements, of course. Whoops, didn't mean to close that window. Richard Hart has made some announcements, of course, and that's kind of what we're going to be discussing today, actually. So I'm going to do things a little bit different. We're just going to have a quick little segment. I'm going to go through chat, and then I'm going to, you know, go through another little segment and see if I can maybe even break down these videos into smaller snippets for YouTube. So bear with me while we get this all sorted and figured out, right? We're going to be learning together. That's how we do things here with ATX Crypto. It's definitely a learning lesson, and I'm happy to be on board with this with y'all as well. So the title of the video today was the future of HEX Crypto and what to expect after the price surge. So in this video, we're going to discuss recent price surge of HEX Crypto and the possible implications of PulseChain launching soon. Richard Hart makes announcements via Twitter, and with these announcements, we get insights, analysis of the future of HEX, and of course, we stay ahead of the game here. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe. Greatly appreciated to every single one of y'all. Hello and welcome to ATX Crypto. Again, today we're going to be checking out the HEX crypto market. Over the last 2 weeks, HEX has been on a blast, and I mean an absolute run. We've seen a significant increase in the price of HEX crypto, with many people wondering what the future holds. So in this video, we're going to be discussing some of those recent events surrounding HEX, the price of it, what can we expect moving forward, and how it all works. If you like this content, definitely be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. We do a daily stream live every single day, 1:30 Central Standard Time. So be sure to come back and join the chat. We have a lot of fun with each other. So as y'all may or may not already know, HEX has been making waves in regards to the price doubling in just the last 2 weeks. It sparked so much interest from so many people among investors and traders alike. And many people are, of course, wondering where it goes, what happens next, right? We have the launch of PulseChain imminent. I mean, like around the corner, folks. And I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but based on everything we're seeing lately, it seems like it's happening it's happening sooner rather than later is my guess. So we can expect more announcements from Richard on this as well via Twitter. If you aren't already following him, be sure to definitely give him a follow. He's the person who's going to be dropping this information and won't come from anyone else. So be sure to be following that so that way y'all don't get scammed in something silly, which is sure to have a significant price impact on the price of HEX. We've seen it as of lately with just a few little announcements of Richard Hart saying V3 private testnet, you know, everything's working, the sync block is going, we have the 4 codes completed. And based on all these tweets, the HEX price has doubled in the last 2 weeks. So hopefully y'all were able to take advantage of this price action. I know if you were following my channel, you should have been able to set some limit orders down in the 1.7, 1.9 cent range. So hopefully you were able to catch some of that as well. We also talk about profit taking strategies here, which we'll discuss a little bit later as well. If you aren't familiar with PulseChain, PulseChain is actually a new project from Richard Hart. It's the new layer 1. Everything from Ethereum is going to be forked over and be copied into PulseChain. So everything that you hold on Ethereum network right now, any ERC20 or ERC721, which just means if you're holding a token in the Ethereum network right now, that's going to be copied. Same for your NFT, it's going to be copied once PulseChain launches. And that launch, we assume, is happening probably sooner rather than later. So make sure that you have everything ready, because again, we go with the 5 P's here. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Guys, make sure you set yourself up for success. That is what we're looking for here as well. We want success in crypto. We want success in life. And there's definitely ways to get there and ways to achieve it as well. So again, PulseChain is going to be a new layer 1 launching soon. It's going to fork the entire Ethereum network. And with Richard Hart's reputation for innovation and success, which we can see from just the example of HEX working flawlessly over the past 3+ years already. It's done exactly as it says it will. It's immutable. It can't be adjusted. There is no admin keys. It does exactly what you want in DeFi. Many people are also eagerly anticipating that the launch of PulseChain could do something similar, and you could expect something similar from PulseChain as well, being that it's created by the same founder, Richard Hart. So what does that mean for HEX? Well, HEX has been very correlated to PulseChain. Very, very correlated. And so with the announcement of PulseChain, with the tweets of PulseChain, with any news of PulseChain or non-news of PulseChain in that regard for both of them, it has a great effect on HEX. And we can see this over time. If you look right here, let me get to where I can show you. We can see this over time because if we go back and just pull up where we were, I'm going to go back and kind of scroll out some as well. So this is actually the PulseChain sacrifice here. And again, I don't have this text. Let me just copy this in and I'll put it over here. PulseChain sacrifice. So this was PulseChain sacrifice here, and we got a lot of hype coming from that just little announcement right here. Let me actually adjust this and make it a little bit easier. Yeah. So we got a lot of hype coming from this as well. A lot of people were getting super excited. We didn't really know exactly what was going to happen, if it was going to launch, when it would launch. And then we had the PulseX sacrifice phase happen right in this December to January timeframe of last year. This was a big little hype cycle for HEX once again, because HEX is going to be the primary factor to get into PulseChain. It's going to be your best play in all reality if you're looking to get into PulseChain. People started getting a little bit sad because Richard Hart made an announcement saying that there was a possible mid-May launch, and this is right around this time frame. The mid-May happened, or should I say didn't happen, and with that we got to see the HEX price follow that same sadness that you would kind of expect it to happen, right? People kind of lost a little bit of faith. They thought maybe it would launch a few months later, and so now we've just kind of been trending along this 5 to 3 cent range here for really the past 6 months. Well, with just this little statement alone, and Richard Hart has made some announcements starting really the beginning of this year. So Richard Hart made a talk at the HEX conference. If you have not seen that already, definitely go check it out. He made he didn't make the announcement of testnet v3 during that conference. However, he made that announcement on January 11th, and since then the HEX price has really just been rallying. He announces the private v3 testnet on January 11th, and then he announced stage 7 right here. And we got to see HEX do some phenomenal things after all. And once that really happened, this was what happened yesterday. He made a tweet and basically said code complete. And if you haven't seen that tweet already, whoops. All right, let me go that here. Richard Hart. Yeah, definitely give him a follow, folks. He's the one who's going to be dropping some news, some information about all of this, right? So this was the most recent tweet that he said. He said, Go Pulse, Prism Pulse, Lighthouse Pulse, and Aragon Pulse code are code complete. And that statement alone has sent the market rallying for HEX. In fact, it's happened so fast where we actually saw a 30% gain just yesterday alone. The Pulse Sync the Aragon Pulse Sync is 20 hours into stage 8 of 16, validating the Aragon Pulse will build the chain correctly from block 0. It finished the hash account. Now it's working on storage change set. So there's only 2 sets that Aragon Pulse has to complete. It's already done 1 of the half. Now it's on the second half. So that's basically what's been going on. And with just that little statement and that announcement alone, people have been hyped up again with this too. We see that a lot of folks have liquidity limit orders set, and they have some limit orders going up to about 5.5 cents. if we can get past 5.5 cents, really sky's the limit at that point in time. So be ready to hold on, guys. Don't sell when the price doubles. We talk about this in my Patreon as well. You can join the link down below, but there's a spreadsheet that I created that actually discusses going through in detail about how to take profits properly in crypto without screwing yourself over. You don't want to make emotional decisions. You always want something to be done when it's ready, folks. Like, you want to make it because it happened and everything is going exactly as you planned. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. We talk about this all the time. Feel free to come on, join the chats, hit me up in comments, hit me up on Twitter, ATX Crypt, without the O. In addition, with Richard Hart saying all of this stuff, folks, there's been so much activity on Twitter from his little mentions alone, with Richard Hart making announcements and updates on the project. It's a great way to stay up to date on the latest of developments and stay ahead of the game for the HEX crypto market. HEX could easily see the price go from right now at 4.5 cents all the way to 10 cents pretty easily, as we've seen how fast the move of crypto can go. We got to see a 30% increase in one day alone, and now today we've already seen it move roughly about 10%, and these are all positive actions in price. So be ready, because this can easily happen within like fractions of a second, and you don't want to be missing, or you don't want to miss this opportunity because you're trying to wait for the price to go back below one cent. I think those days are kind of gone, for now at least. I'm not saying it can never happen, and I'm not saying it won't ever happen, but I just don't really see it being possible. So make sure to start setting something up to take advantage and get these prices and capture some more HEX and capture some more of your crypto that you're looking to have copied over. Because folks, when PulseChain goes live, you're only going to have one opportunity. You're going to have one chance to have everything copied over. Be sure you're ready for that one chance, okay? So that's it for the analysis on the HEX crypto market. Hope you found this information valuable, informative, and keep an eye on the HEX crypto market yourself. Stay ahead of the game with the latest updates and analysis. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, so folks, that was just me kind of, I really want to try something different, right? I'm going to keep on streaming. The stream's not over yet. Hang tight with me. To everyone who's still here. Hang tight. I haven't left. I'm making it so that way I can hopefully snip this into little segments, because I will go from, I'm all over the place sometimes with my streams. And so I found it hard for me to like clip certain things and make smaller videos just because of the way I stream. And that's kind of just talking as we go. So, I have another one that I'm going to do in just a little bit. We're just going to hang out, have some fun, like I mentioned earlier in the stream. If you're just now tuning in, thank you so much for being here with me. Happy Saturday to every single one of you beautiful people. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We got Doug. What's up, Doug? Hexicans. Hello, Hexicans. Doug says, nice hat. Thanks, Doug. All right, gather some coffee. Do a little stretch, enjoy the music, enjoy the Saturday. And then I actually want to be talking about something, guys. I want to share something I've been working on. It's not quite finished just because you know how it goes. I always have I start different projects for different things. All right. So, what do we got going on? Appreciate that, Doug. Again, nice hat. Thank you so much. 10 Top says, nice. Orion, thank you so much for being here as well. Laughing at my little funny humors. Don't leave me. I'm still here. I'm still streaming. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, what do we got going on with y'all? What's going on with your neck of the woods, right? Like, Texas is out of the freeze. We had a crazy freeze happen here over the last week or so. People are still out of power because the power lines had so much ice on them, and they were weighing it down, because apparently like half an inch of ice equates to like 50 pounds of additional weight for every single power line across the lower half of Texas or whatever it was. So many folks lost power, and I mean, the people are still out of power. There's hundreds of thousands of folks without power right now. My heart goes out to all of them, man. No power sucks, dude. Like, having no power, you just kind of like, you go stir crazy sometimes, right? I stay home most of the time, but you can entertain yourself with so many other things. But if you don't have power, you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't have, the ability to charge your phone or do anything, right? Heat up in this scenario, right? Because you got the heaters and all that. So my heart goes out to every single one of y'all. Hopefully, if you were in that scenario, you're back to some sort of sense of normalcy. Hopefully you were able to gain some power back, and I was fortunate enough to not have lost power during this cycle. So, hopefully we can keep on with that good luck and just keep on moving along. But yeah, to every single one of y'all who may have been affected by that, or even affected by winter storms in general. These winter storms have been freaking wild here in the States as of late. So definitely some crazy stuff. All right, so for everyone who's still tuning in right now, thank you so much. I want to share something with you as well real quick. This is a PulseChain prediction model. This was actually kind of built because of cryptographics and what he had mentioned in a tweet. And he had basically said, like, hey, you can do this price prediction for PulseChain based on a couple different metrics. And so he did one based on the market cap supply of ETH. And then he also did one based on the pools of HEX and ETH. And so what I did was I was like, you know what? I like that, dude. I like cryptographics. He's a great guy. I also like the fact that he came out with, breaking down how he came out with the math, because of him, I was actually able to create this exact sheet that you're seeing here. And this is a live spreadsheet that you're looking at right now. So I don't have to adjust anything. It automatically pulls the current supply from Nomics, and it pulls the current market cap, and it does all that. It does the multiplication based on the supply, because if you don't know, PulseChain is going to do a 1.2 million X Ethereum in terms of the overall supply. That's how it actually is going to adjust everything. So based on just one metric, that puts the price for PulseChain at launch at 0.0013988855, which eventually will, can you imagine? Eventually one day, HEX used to be in this range too, by the way, folks. Like, HEX used to be in the 0.000 range, right? So eventually one day you'll be talking about PulseChain, or we'll be talking about PulseChain as in 1 cent, 10 cents, 20 cents. Like, oh shit, that makes me so freaking bullish, dude. This alone shows right here that we're seeing the price of PulseChain launched roughly about 13.9x from sacrifice price based on this first prediction model of Ethereum supply. The other prediction model is using the Uniswap pools for HEX and Ethereum. And this is actually, again, pulling some actual factual live prices for Ethereum, live prices for HEX, live prices for the Uniswap pool. And so based on all these numbers and how all the math works out and all the formulas that you make and I create, so it actually shows the current price of PulseChain at launch at 0.1 or 0.001408 right? So this is pretty crazy, guys. This is a live tracker that I've made that I can literally look at, and based on everything of where it is when PulseChain launches, all the AMM bot's going to go through and it's going to harvest all the liquidity from all the other pools, and it's going to do an automated market maker where it's going to provide liquidity in certain ranges, provide where it needs to in order to get the same LP ratios. And we might see this being the price at launch. Can you imagine a 14x? A 14x from sacrifice price. And if you were able to sacrifice and you're still here in this community and you've held true to wait till this long, kudos. Like, I salute you. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you're the reason that so many people are still so motivated in this ecosystem. Randy Olarsky did a thing the other day saying thank you to all the creators of HEX and people who are still in the community. So I say the same thing, folks. Thank you. Thank you so much to every single one of y'all who are showing love, who are joining the communities, who are watching the streams, who are subscribing to the channels, who are, donating and joining Patreon and doing all this stuff for all the creators. Like, it's incredible, folks. We have such an incredible community that it blows my mind that we're still so tight-knit after 3 years. That's pretty tough to do, and it seems like the relationships have only grown stronger and the bonds have only gotten stronger. So I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. I'm so excited for the future of us, guys. Like, god dang, dude, we literally have, in my opinion, like the best community. And I really do believe that, guys. Like, we have truly one of the best communities, and I think our community by far is going to win the hardest in the world of crypto. Orion says it perfectly right here. Don't you just love crypto? I fucking love it, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, where else are you going to have this action happen? Nowhere, dude. Do you get like a quick 2x gain on your money within a 2-week window? Like, literally, guys, if you bought HEX anywhere in this 2-cent range, you're pretty dang close to already getting a double on it, right? Now, what you do with it is up to you at the same time. But if you bought HEX anywhere between here, like if you were able to catch the dip, or maybe you bought it here around the 2-cent range, you're still sitting on a nice, 130% profit right now. 130% profit in this range. That's 23 days. Like, I don't know. Granted, yes, with crypto comes volatility, okay? With crypto comes volatility. That's the price you pay for the highest appreciating asset. Like, if you can't hold on for a year of volatility, then you may not deserve to reap the rewards of thousands of X's or even hundreds of X's. Because all of that takes determination, it takes patience. You have to get through the FUD. You have to get rid of the noise that's outside and everyone talking so much smack and everyone just saying so many things like in your ear. All these stuff are just constantly happening. But like, dude, where else are you gonna see a quick fucking 2x gain within essentially? And it didn't even have to go out that far, right? Like, if I just measure out from here, it's at 2.2 right here, and it's already at 4.4 right here. So, and it even got up to like really close to damn 4.4 right here on this day. But 4.4 hits us right here. That's a nice freaking double. And so the idea is that, again, I've actually started implementing my strategy already, and that is through taking profit, folks. And I do believe in profit taking now. Something that I didn't have strong understanding of before, and I'm glad that I didn't, because I may have screwed it up. But I have a much better understanding of profit taking now. I have a strategy that I can implement. I have a strategy that I can share with everyone else. And really, the idea is that, like, guys, I was able to scoop up HEX around this 1.7 cent range, 1.9 cent range, right? And hopefully you were able to as well. And you can take some profit when it reaches a double, right? We talk about the profit taking, whether it be 5, 10, 15% profit. That's something that you're going to have to figure out yourself, but it's something that I do discuss in the Patreon as well. And this is that profit taking spreadsheet right here. So you can really go through and play with a whole bunch of numbers and adjust everything. And I'll go through in this. So let's just say, for example, that you did $1,000. Okay. Let's just say you had $1,000 and you bought it at 2.2 cents. Well, when the price reaches 4.4 cents, you can have a nice strategy of what you're planning on doing. Okay. So, and you can adjust this sheet. It's okay, Charlie. Hey, it's okay, Charlie. You can adjust this sheet to fit what you're looking for, folks. Like, this is the beauty of this sheet right here, right? And I have this for all my Patreon folks as well. Whoa, that's crazy. What is going on? It looks so freaking crazy. Okay, cool. I don't know if y'all saw that same thing. It looked crazy on my end. Yeah, so this is a little profit taking thing here. It automatically does the math for you on where the doubles are. So what you can do is, since I already know the doubles at 4.4 cents, I just set a limit order at 4.4 cents. You can say how much you want to sell, right? It doesn't have to be 5%. You can go all the way up and do 10%. You can do 15%. You can do 20%. And it'll tell you how many coins you would sell. You don't have to do the math. It does all of it for you. And you just set a limit order to say, I want to sell 9,090 tokens, because you were able to eventually, when you first bought it, you were able to get 45,000 tokens, right? Coins bought 45,000. So you could say, I want to do 9,090 tokens. You'll collect a cash out of $400. Mind you, you only paid $500 whenever you first bought this at 2.2 cents. So this is saying you cash out $400 here, and you just set a limit order at 4.4 cents. You don't want to make it an emotional decision. You don't want to try to play this thing about, I can wait till it's 4.5. I can wait till it's 4.9. I promise, dude, you're just going to be wrecking yourself, and it's so frustrating whenever the price doesn't reach what you're looking for. Have things set in a certain way. So have a limit order here, 4.4 cents. Sell 9,000 tokens, you're going to cash out $400, and then you hold that money on the side for the dips for when they come back. Because guys, I guarantee dips are in the game. Like, just because we're going up right now doesn't mean we're always going to go up. So if the price dips back down to the 2-cent range, well, guess what you can do now? You can scoop up some more HEX, folks. That is what this whole spreadsheet will show you. That's what this spreadsheet's about. It'll say if you decide to do the 5%. Sorry, the puppy's barking. I don't know why. I don't know why he's barking. So if you could set the spreadsheet to do exactly like you're looking for, though, right? Like, this shows that, like, if you choose to go with the 5% one, it automatically does the math and calculates it over here for you. It says it's, $100, $200, and it's saying that even then, after taking $100 out, you still have $1,900 in value sitting in there as well. Now, again, this is something everyone's going to have to learn and figure out themselves. You also have this spreadsheet, too, which does a phenomenal job breaking down how to break down prices. Again, this is available to everyone who's a Patreon of mine as well. You can go to the link down in the description below. Should be the first link if you want to join up to the Patreon there. Much love to everyone who has already joined. And if you have questions about this, definitely hit me up. Like, I'm happy to share the knowledge that I have, and I've put, a lot of effort in making this. And I absolutely love the fact that it's able to be made, right? To have and share with every single one of you beautiful folks. So what do we got here? Don't you just love crypto? Absolutely. Sure do. Sure does. We have the best community, period. Facts. Facts on facts. There's just no doubt in my mind that I made the right decision joining the HEX community. Like, I was talking to my buddy the other day, and Charlie, Journey, come here. Come here. Hold on, let me close my door real fast so they don't leave. Hush, boys. All right, I'm back. So I was talking to my buddy the other day, dude, and it was like it was hilarious how the community that we have, dude. It was like, I've always thought I found the right community before, right? Because I've done so many other things that hasn't just been crypto, right? I've had my goal to be it's the FIRE method, right? Financial independence and retire early. That's always been a goal of mine for forever, which is why my name is ATX Crypto with the fire at the end, if you get it, right? But that's always been my goal, is to like be financially independent and retire early. And I've always had that as a goal, and I've always tried joining different communities. I've always tried doing different things, and I've never, not once felt anywhere close to the amount of camaraderie that you get in the HEX community. You just don't find it. Again, I compare it very closely, and I say this with all the love, to being in the military. You will never have the brotherhood and sisterhood you have with your folks and your brothers and sisters to the left and right of you in the military, and you just don't find that anywhere else. But I found like I was able to find something damn close to it with this community, and I'm so glad that I found it, and I'm so glad that I didn't let someone talk me out of this community. And I'm so glad that I've just been able to, like, I'm making streams every day now. Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, folks, this is and I do it just because I love it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't if I didn't love the community, if people didn't love this community, you wouldn't see them. You wouldn't hear them. I don't see anyone doing daily streams about the Ethereum besides trading. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't advise trading, right? Trading is not good. Not good for your life, not good for your soul, not good for your relationships. But damn, dude, I feel like this community is going to win as long as you stick with the community. If you become a black sheep and you try to go and chase the new shiny object, and you badmouth everything that you once absolutely loved about this thing, I just don't think that's going to be the one you need, right? What we need is what we have, right? We literally have such a freaking amazing community that they're so blessed to be a part of. I get so emotional talking. Like, I was talking to my buddy about this the other day. I was like, dude, I think I get too hyped about this. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like I literally love this community so much. I love every single one of y'all. And I do believe that we honestly have the best community. Facts. What's your strategy for PLS ratio trading? Let's talk. What is my strategy for the PLS ratio trading before bridge? So, if you don't understand ratio trading, I just avoid completely. I'll just say it like that. Oops, I zoomed out again. All right. So again, if you don't understand ratio trading, I would just stop. I wouldn't even bother trying. I wouldn't even, because you literally just have to wait a couple of days. And like, if anything, this whole community / crypto has taught us delayed gratification, and we understand patience. And I feel like I've always been a kind of a patient person, but like my patience is on a whole nother level now. It's just absolutely crazy. So the idea that, you might want to wait for 30 to 60 days before you really start doing stuff, right? And the idea behind that is that you don't want to make a wrong decision just because of FOMO. If you weren't able to sacrifice for PulseChain or PulseX, then that's perfectly fine. But you don't want to make the wrong decision with FOMO, because in the future, in the end, it won't be good. So, if you have the idea that you've already got your staking ladder set up, HEX is probably going to be your best play, because HEX is going to have the most liquidity and the ability to probably figure out the best ratios right from the jump, right? We have so many folks in our community already as we speak that are already kind of doing all this math, and they're figuring everything out. And so when PulseChain goes live, I imagine they're going to say, is it good ratio? Is it bad ratio? So the idea that you want to find out like how much pulse you would get for how much HEX you would give, or PulseX, right? I think PulseX, if you're going to do ratio trading, by the way, I think PulseX is going to be the play for you. And the reason why is because no one's talking about PulseX. Like, it's probably going to have the most cushion to make the wrong decision. Like, I say that in the best way possible, but I do feel that PulseX is going to be your play. I don't think that you want to ratio trade with Pulse and HEX. And the reason why is because the volatility between those 3 coins, whenever PulseChain launches, is going to be wild. But I don't get that same sentiment from PulseX. I don't know if people are just like neglecting it, or just like not talking about it, or like, I don't know, right? And so like, I think PulseX is going to be your play if you're going to do ratio trading. And so what you want to do is you want to basically figure out how much you would have gotten if you sacrificed. So we know for every $1 it was 10,000 points. So you would get 10,000 for every $1. Well, based on what the price of HEX is, you want to figure that out. How much HEX can you get for $1, right? And so like right now it's sitting at, for example, 44 cents. Whoops. Let me get back over here. So it's sitting at 44 cents. So if we just do that same kind of math and figure that out, right? So 44, whoops, that's not sitting at 44 cents, 4.4 cents. Can you imagine, dude? I can't wait for HEX to be back up at 44 cents again. That'll be freaking wild. Anyways, it's 4.4 cents, by the way. So, oh shit, that cracks me up, man. That really does. So, how much would you get? Let me just kind of do that real fast. Let's see. Oh, do they have a little market buy right here that you can just do by any chance? I've never really tried to do a buy on a deck screener, so not really sure how that works. Okay, well, I'm sure I can figure that out later if I need to. All right, so for every $1, you would get HEX. You would get 21, we'll say 22 HEX for every $1, right? So if the ratio is 22 HEX for 10,000 PulseX, good ratio. If the ratio is 22 HEX for 22 PulseX, absolutely terrible ratio, right? So you have to make that decision of what is that good ratio for you. Personally, I was so fortunate that I was able to sacrifice for PulseChain and for PulseX, and I went heavy on both. I didn't go one or the other. I did both. I believed in both. I have strong convictions of both. So I went heavy on both. I'm not trying to play one against the other. The idea that I have is I want to collect all. I want to be like Ash Ketchum and fucking gotta catch them all. I want PulseX. I want Pulse. I want HEX on Ethereum. I want HEX on PulseChain. I want them all. You know what I mean? And so I've been having a goal to stack my HEX during this bear market and gather as much as I can, so that way when it copies over to PulseChain, I have the exact same amount over there, and that's a phenomenal, beautiful thing. I'm also probably not going to be doing any ratio trading between the pairs because I don't think, like, you're not going to get the ratios that you got for sacrifice. So you're going to really have to do the math and make sure that the sacrifice amounts and all that stuff is what you're looking for. Because it can easily go the other way, folks, like very quickly. So if you don't know what a good ratio is, it's best to just avoid it. Let me just say that. Like, we could just go right there. But if you understand how ratio trading works and the fact that you could get, you know, you want to base everything off of what you could do for sacrifice. So you want to base everything off what you could do for sacrifice, right? You want to base off, you know, I could get 10,000 Pulse or PulseX for $1. What is the price of HEX for that $1? Based on those metrics, what does it look like to do it before? Being that we just have to wait a couple of days for bridge, I don't advise people to do ratio trading. I think it's a quick way to get caught up in the hype. The hype is going to be real when PulseChain launches, and the volatility is also going to be there too. So be careful with ratio trading. That's my 2 cents on it. Gabriel, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, ATX. Hello, Gabriel. Do I think HEX will reach 5 cents by the end of the week? Dude, I thought it was going to hit 5 cents today before I started streaming. Are you kidding me? Or did you see the price, man? Let me go back. I'll show you. This shit was crazy. This shit right here? This shit was crazy, bro. Like, today, it already freaking hit. It got as high as 4.935 cents. Like, it was this close to touching 5 cents. This close. And I was watching and I was like, oh shit, it's gonna break 5 cents. And folks, I've showed you this before. This Uniswap pair, and I'll refresh it just so it's current. Might as well. But this Uniswap pool right here is basically what you want to be looking at. And when we break 5.5 cents, we do not have a lot of resistance happening. So zooming in again, everything to the left of the red line, sell orders. Everything to the right of the red line, buy orders. So currently the red line's right here, 4.46 cents. And these are all sell orders right here that have basically said that like they're gonna sell when the price reaches X amount. Oh shit, so you can see the sell wall is already kind of getting a little bit bigger. People are pushing out this sell wall. Before it used to be really 5.5 cents. And people are starting to sell, people are starting to provide limit orders here between all the way up to 6.5 cents, essentially 6.39 cents. So I guess once we pass 6.39 cents, sky's the limit. But look how it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So really the idea is that if we can break this whole sell wall that we have, and we just keep all the people buying like they've been buying, dude, I could easily see us pushing past into this 5.5 cent range. Now that's gonna be the next metric. Once we pass 5.5 cents, that's when it's like, get ready for fucking rocket ship time, folks, because at this moment in time, there's not a lot of sell orders here to eat that liquidity up. So if it passes this, people are already starting to plan ahead, saying that like, I'm planning all the way out to 7 cents. So that's basically where people are selling all the way up to now. So they basically have all these limit orders because they're planning on the price end up going up to 7 cents. And guess what? They're going to cash out. And there's a proper way of cashing out, folks. We talked about it before. You set limit orders. You set limit orders to buy. You set limit orders to sell. It's going to make your life so much easier. Promise, promise. So, Gabriel, to answer the question, by the end of the week, heck yeah, dude. We're so close to breaking it this weekend. I'm thinking we might break 5 cents over the weekend. But again, we're building this based on Richard Hart's tweet. And you have to imagine, this tweet alone was just how long ago? Less than 24 hours ago? A little bit more than 24 hours ago, if you will. This was February 3rd. Does it say a date? Or time? Yeah, I don't know how to look at time. I don't Twitter much, folks. I don't Twitter. Embed tweet, report tweet. I don't want to do any of that. No. No. Okay. Yeah, I don't know exact time, but it was pretty close to when I was streaming. So I streamed at 1:30 and it was basically like an hour before that. So it's been about 24, 25 hours since Richard Hart made this tweet. And look what the price of HEX has already done in the last, 24 hours. It's gone up damn near 40%, right? We went up 30% here, 29.25, and we've already hit 10% today. So it's already gone up damn near 40% in 2 days. So, and people still haven't even seen this tweet. That's the best part. That's what I love. People have yet to actually see it. So, yeah, I think people are gonna, ape in. Party in Mexico. What's up, firefighting? What's happening? Oh shit, let me put the hat back on. I forgot about the hat. Boo boo. Where did I get the hat? Let me actually see. Let me see if I can remember. Where did I get the hat? I think it was Amazon. You know what's funny? Me and my wife do so much shopping on freaking Amazon that like it used to be a running joke that like if you just asked me where I got something, the answer was just 9 out of 10 times Amazon. HEX crypto hat. Let me see. Hush. Yeah, it's right there. So this was the hat, and it was this one right here. HEX cryptocurrency blockchain. Boom. So if you didn't know, you could buy hats on Amazon for HEX and beanies and other stuff too. That's how I did it, and you can too. All right. What else do we got? Okay. So give me 1 second, folks. let me close this tab. Don't need to look at HEX hats right now. It makes me want to buy so many more. But there you go, Firefighting 82. Party in Mexico. Where can you get that hat? Amazon. Liquidity pools have very little HEX. Yeah, Sweaty. The liquidity pools were literally, actually at one point in time today, I think it got down to like 9 million HEX in the pool. It was pretty crazy. Because I was like, holy smokes, are you joking right now? that's pretty low, folks. Just to give you a little heads up, like usually it's around 14 million hex or so, but it actually got as low as like 10 million hex in that one pool, and I was like, oh my god. Yeah, so right now the pools alone, just as the ETH hex pair right now, is it not showing on the screen? Huh, 1 second. Do I have to go here? Why aren't you showing? What are you? Oh, it is showing. What was I seeing? I don't even know what I was seeing. Okay, so this is the liquidity pools right here, and you can see like right now there's only 11 million hex in this pool and 300 Ethereum. So every single time people are buying hex, it's gonna swap their hex or swap their Ethereum for hex. It does this in liquidity pool based on how everything works. So the more hex goes in here, it matches the amount of Ethereum over here in order to offset to get the liquidity pools and pairs correctly. But so far there's only $1 million in total liquidity in this pool, and there's other pools as well, and that's just kind of one of those metrics that we look at. But that's also kind of how I have this whole spreadsheet built here, talking about what the price of PulseChain will be at launch, and that's kind of how it's all done based on these pools. So, and this is live right now, so it's literally pulling live hex price, live Ethereum price, live liquidity pools, and it literally says that we'd be sitting about a 14x on launch. So get ready, hold on to your hats, you know what I mean? Once you get them on Amazon, hold on to them. Gabriel. Orion says, as we wade through the geometric distribution of hex from old holders to new holders, the price must necessarily trend up logarithmically because buyers are unlikely to sell for less than they purchased. Yeah, facts. Like, that's the same reason why people stake, and that's the same benefit as why you want to stake longer, right? Because it's the code is logarithmically built to where like you cannot get the same amount of T-shares that you once got when you first staked. So the idea behind HEX is that you stake it, and the idea behind staking is that you stake it long because you delay your gratification, and in doing so you're given a bigger reward for a longer pays better bonus, but you get more T-shares. And so when that stake comes due, you have to end it, but you can't just stake the same amount that you originally staked and get the same T-share. You either have to restake plus the yield that you've accrued, or you have to go longer in order to regain those T-shares. So T-shares are going to be so freaking valuable, folks, and like I don't think enough people talk about it. T-shares are going to be like where the actual true money is held. Ultimately, the reason the prices for all things trend up, I call it ratchet theory. Love it. Yeah, ratchet's on its way up. Sweaty says, nice. The T-share system is what helps that hodl mentality. Facts on facts. Tuesday evening looking real juicy for another PulseChain update. Is that Valentine's? No. What happens Tuesday? I actually don't know what happens Tuesday evening. Hey, if we get a PulseChain update, all I'm saying is like, dude, the price of HEX has done this from freaking tweets, folks. Like, all we've gotten is tweets. Richard Hart announces stage 7. Richard Hart says testnet's private. Like, these are freaking tweets, and the price has done this. I can't even imagine what happens if he says V3's public. Fucking sky's the limit for that, right? Firefight A2. By the way, ATX, you're rubbing off on me. Throwing the 5 P's around to work. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And you got to hit them with it just every single time. Have you made the 5 P's? Have you done the 5 P's? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. No, sir. Oh, I love that Firefight A2. Freaking love it. Crypto Freedom, good afternoon, ATX. Woo! In your opinion, what is the easiest and fastest way on launch day before any stablecoins have value on PulseX to buy with fresh powder, Pulse or PulseX or HEX? So, another great question here. So let me get this pulled up here, and then I'll have to step away for a brief second, and I'll come back to do the last little segment that I want to talk about as well. So, Crypto Freedom, to answer that question, whoops, why is it pulled up? Interesting. Okay, yeah, it's there. Cool. Yeah, I had the old one still there too, which is interesting. So easiest and fastest way. Sorry, I'm adjusting stuff on the fly here. I'm just trying to test stuff out. I told you I have a whole new system set up that I'm just trying to see. Okay. I want that to wrap more. I don't like it sitting all the way out. Ooh, I can just go here. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Cool. Okay, well now I just learned that something. Hey, learning all day, every day. Okay, so to answer the question, I get distracted so fucking fast, folks. What is the easiest and fastest way on launch day before any stablecoins have value on PulseX to buy with fresh powder, PLS, or PLSX, or PHEX? So to answer that question, Crypto Freedom, I think what we really want to do, HEX is by far going to be the fastest, easiest way, right? Let's just clear that up real quick. HEX is going to be the most efficient. If you don't already have PulseChain from Sacrifice or PulseX from Sacrifice, HEX is your play. HEX is going to be a tool, and I've talked about this, which is why the HEX price will also be affected heavily depending upon how the release goes, right? So I would much prefer HEX or PulseChain just to be launched, or even saying like PulseChain's live in the next 3 days and let the HEX price go up. I think if we get public testnet, we're gonna have HEX price dump. But if you can scoop up some HEX now, or at the level that you feel comfortable scooping it up at, knowing you're going to use that HEX for the purpose of swapping, that's going to be the fastest, easiest way, right? Because there's just literally, it's going to have the most liquidity provided right from the jump. There's the most traction in the network, so people are going to be knowing about it. It's going to have the ability to swap everything like you're looking for. So I do find that to be the easiest thing, because you won't have the ability to do any stable coins from launch, especially because there won't be any value. So, but then you get into, that's ratio trading. And we've talked about this just a little bit earlier in the stream, but ratio trading is very risky. So fresh powder is going to be available in just a couple of days when the bridge is live, because they'll have some sort of liquidity provided, whether it be DAI or USDC, or there's something that's going to happen where someone's going to provide liquidity, and there should be enough to actually keep that coin stable. So I would wait until the bridge personally, but if you can't wait, know what the ratios are. And we talked about this earlier. So we had 10,000 Pulse or PulseX for every $1. And you want to do the math of what HEX is and how many HEX you would get for $1 on Ethereum. And based on those metrics and what that ratio ends up being, how many would you get, right? And so the idea behind it is that the dollar is kind of what you're basing it on. So if you base it on, you get, 22 HEX per $1, and you get 10,000 Pulse or PulseX per $1 at current prices, good ratio. That's a great ratio. That's essentially like a dollar for dollar ratio. That's what you're looking for. If you get 22 HEX for $1 and you get 200 Pulse or PulseX, that's not really a good ratio, right? You want to at least be getting something like 5,000 possibly, you know what I mean? Like, you want something to where you can have a good ratio on it, right? And that's, you're going to probably lose some, but the idea is that you have the ability to make it up in the price action later, because I think the price of Pulse is probably going to pump the hardest out of all of them, especially if we're just looking at this little sheet right here saying that the possibility of it doing a 14x from launch price is phenomenal, right? So again, not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. You got to do their own research and all that good stuff, as they always say. But based on what I'm seeing here, Crypto Freedom, I would suggest HEX is your best play, as what I would do if I was in your shoes, or if I was in that predicament. Folks, give me 1 second. I'm gonna step away here for a brief moment in time. I have to do a little pup swap around real quick, and so I'm going to just put this back here for a brief second, but I'll be back probably within the next minute, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about some HEX stats, because that's what the stream was supposed to be about, and then I got distracted. So I'll be right back, folks. And I'm back, folks. I am back. Thank you so much for the patience on that as well, as always. All right. Let's knock out this second little segment here, because I actually have this kind of broken down into a little bit more information. So to everyone who's just now tuning in, I'll go through this as like I did earlier, and then I'll look at the chat. We'll get into some questions. So bear with me while I do this, because I'm trying to find a good way to go about breaking the videos into smaller segments for ease of YouTube content. So that way we can kind of get through some quick content. It may not be the 1.5 hour, 2 hour streams like we got going on. And so that way people can hopefully focus on a little bit better news faster. So I'm gonna get in. All right. What's going on, everybody? It's ATX Crypto bringing you the HEX daily information. Feel free to join the channel down below by clicking like and subscribe. Greatly appreciate to every single one of y'all who have clicked the subscribe button. Greatly appreciated for every single one who's joined the Patreon. If you want to join that as well, link down in the description below. Today we're going to be discussing the HEX journey, folks. We're going to be doing a deep dive on the HEX journey over the years. We're going to be exploring the key events, statistics, analytics, and of course we're going to see what's contributed to all the success. We're going to look in more of an in-depth understanding of the HEX market and understand what makes it one of the fastest growing cryptocurrencies in the market today. So hello again, folks. Welcome to the channel. My name is ATX Crypto. If you're new here, we do primarily cover the Richard ecosystem of HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX. HEX over the years has been around for roughly 3+ years now at this point in time, and it's definitely making headlines, especially in recent years. It's got a meteoric rise, in my opinion, in its price because it went to 10,000x, and the popularity of this crypto has just grown constantly over this time. So we'll be exploring a little bit more information about it. We're going to be doing some analysis on it. I have some numbers broken down as well. Kind of, get through the real benefits of how the cryptocurrency has been shaped and created. My doggy's barking. Frustrating. Let me go stop him from barking. 1 second. It's a barking doghouse today. Goodness gracious. All right, so folks, HEX launched in 2019, December 2nd of 2019. And since its launch, it's actually seen a steady rise in price and popularity and growth. And of course, one of the key factors contributing to the success has been its unique approach to reward its holders. It's got a focus on incentivizing long-term investment and delaying your gratification. It's made HEX one of the most attractive options for investors looking for reliable, long-term investment and reliable, long-term trustless yield. Another important factor contributing to the success has been the adoption rate. And so in just a few short years, HEX has actually managed to gain a large following and has become one of the most widely traded cryptocurrencies in the market. It's been reflected in the numbers because HEX is now ranking amongst the top 100 cryptocurrencies by market cap. To dive deeper into the HEX crypto journey, we'll be looking at a range of stats. We're going to be looking at a range of information, including price trends, adoption rates, and of course, over this time, giving us a better understanding of the popularity and understanding of HEX growth and what may be possible for the future as well. So without further ado, let's take a look over here and see what is happening with the adoption rate happening with HEX. Bam, and share screen. Cool. All right, folks. So I made this little sheet here, and I'm still working on it, so bear with me on it. But the idea behind this sheet, the idea behind HEX is that you stake HEX. When you stake HEX, you're actually giving a reward. and or you're actually given a share, and those shares are what pay you the trustless yield every single day. So when you stake your HEX, what happens in the system of crypto is it actually burns, it actually gets rid of the HEX that you currently have, and in its place, you're given shares. Shares are what you want in HEX. That is how you earn yourself trustless yield every single day. You get paid at 0000 UTC time every single day like clockwork, and it's been doing this for the last 3+ years over this time. In fact, we can see through this time with the launch of December 4th, 2019, in this little range, we can actually see how many people have been adjusting over this time. We can see that the average number of stakers, which is what you do whenever you have your HEX, you stake it, and in return you're given shares, and those shares pay you out HEX. You can see the average amount of people staking. We can see the average amount of people holding, and this is over the last span of 38 months, folks. So we're now sitting over 3 years. In 2020, really, because 2019 was December, that was the first launch of it. The average yearly T-share adjusted during this time was roughly 516, and we're going to get into like really what these metrics mean here in a second as well. But the average yearly staker adjusted was just a small number of 1,500 in the beginning. Now the holders got a big ol' increase in 2020. A lot of folks really started learning about it. This is the average of every single month over 12 months. So that's basically saying 16,000 people would join every single month for the first 12 months. That's a massive number right here. This is also the second year of HEX, right? So during that time, there was an increase of 270 every single month. You would get a T-share adjustment rate of 270. So in the beginning, it actually only used to cost 10,000 T-shares to get, or it used to cost 10,000 HEX to get 1 T-share. Well, based on this metric alone, we can see that the first year, it actually increased 516 every single month. During the second year, got an increase of 270 every single month. And over the third year, got an increase of 396. So now we can assume, based on the last 3 years of information, that every month that passes, it's going to cost 394 more HEX to get 1 T-share for every single month that passes. Okay? Because this number is now costing roughly anywhere between 25. It's right over. Whoops. Didn't mean to click on that. So it's right here. The T-share amount is now costing 25,678. Right here, this number that I'm clicking. This is now the T-share amount that it costs to get 1 T-share. This is the amount of HEX it costs to get 1 T-share. So good information for everyone to know. For those folks who are looking to stake their HEX, this is what you want to be basing it on. How much HEX does it cost? And based on this metric alone, we can see it's going to go up an increase of 394 HEX every single month that passes. Do not delay staking your HEX. You will get less T-shares every single time. This is logarithmically built into the code to never go down. The T-share rate can never go down. It will always cost more HEX the next day to get the exact same amount of T-shares. Okay? It's built into the code. It's how the code works. During this time, we've also seen an average increase of roughly 3,500 holders every single month. So these numbers are growing on average about 8,500 holders every single month that passes. And folks, we can really get this broken down into a yearly metric here. Yeah, again, I'm still working on it, so don't hold my feet to the fire, right? I'm just doing this for fun. Guys, don't hold my feet to the fire on it. But the first year, there was actually an increase of 18,000 stakers. That was a yearly adjusted increase from the beginning to where we are. The second year, there was an increase of 45,000 stakers. And the third year, there was an increase of 42,000 stakers. So that means on average, we're getting roughly about 35,000 stakers every single year. And the more stakers there are, the harder and harder it is to get yourself 1 T-share, because that number is based on a whole bunch of metrics. Now, the overall holders, folks, check this out. In the very first year of HEX, we had an increase of 191,000 holders. That is massive. There was a lot of people that heard and just didn't necessarily understand the whole staking mechanism. And you can see the difference in these two numbers here. So while there was a lot of new people, they weren't necessarily staking. Now you can see that people started learning staking is what HEX is about. That is why HEX exists. It's to stake your HEX and delay gratification for a period of time. You can see this because the next year we had an increase of 69,000 holders from the previous year. Right? Or that wasn't for the previous year. That was just in total. So there was the 69,000 increase just in total for that year. And then again, we had an increase of 42,000 people in the third year in 2022. So on average, we're still getting roughly about 100,000 holders every single year in HEX, with an additional 35,000 stakers every single year. Guys, that is massive. That's massive. And I want everyone to be mindful of this too, because that is some big numbers that we're seeing. Now, I'm going to break this down in a different way, and I was trying to get the math done for it right here, because I was trying to see, at one point in time, folks, can you imagine the payout per T-share used to be less than 1 HEX per T-share that you owned? Granted, you used to get a lot more T-shares back then, but this is how the whole system works, right? So yes, they had more T-shares back in the day, but that payout per T-share was so much less. But that doesn't really matter, because if you stake long, then that's the whole benefit and the purpose behind it. Because look at this, guys. And these are fun numbers that I really got a chance to really dive in and see myself that I didn't necessarily understand or know. So during this time, you can see there was an increase of 1 now. So you would get 1 HEX per T-share that you owned. And then it went up to 2 HEX per T-share that you owned. And then stayed around 2 HEX per T-share. And really, it didn't really start kicking off until right about here, right? We start seeing this number really start increasing. And folks, this is back in October of 2020, where we would get an increase of 4.7, or you would have a payout of 4.7 HEX per T-share. Right now, folks, if you are not aware, the payout per T-share is actually sitting right here at 6.375 HEX per T-share. And over the last 60 days or 30 days, over the last 6 months, it's actually got a nice payout of 6.38 or 6.368. Incredible. It's crazy. That's crazy freaking good, folks. So freaking good. That's the average payout over the last 6 months. Incredible, dude. This is what I'm so excited about, because this number literally shows that the payout has constantly gone up. The amount of T-shares that you get is constantly becoming harder and harder and harder. And it's good for everyone to understand that why they need to stake HEX now and stop delaying staking HEX. Because if you're truly trying to earn that trustless yield and understand the whole HEX mechanism, that is what we're looking for in this whole system right now, okay? So I wanted to share this information because I feel like it may not get talked about as often as it is. And I'm going to keep increasing this. I'm going to keep tweaking the information. I'm going to make it so we have averages of what you had per year. So if you want to be following that information, definitely give this channel a like and a subscribe. It means a lot. It means the world to me, as a matter of fact. It means that you're appreciating the conversation that we're putting out, the information that I'm creating. And it really does help the YouTube algorithm as well. The goal is to be at 700 subscribers by the end of the month. Help me get there, right? If you aren't already subscribed. So of course, with that impressive performance through HEX has already gone and done a 10,000x. At one point in time, it actually started as low as, the price of HEX was, I don't think I had the price of HEX on this sheet right here because I got rid of that particular one. Yeah, so the price of HEX was as low as like 0.00056. Okay, so super freaking low. And it's actually gone up and already done at 10,000x. So it actually reached, 56 cents at one point in time. So right now it's back in the ballpark of about 4.4 cents. So do not miss the opportunity, because just in the last 2 weeks alone, HEX has already gone and done a 2x in price. And folks have already been able to capitalize on that as well. So if you're wanting to capitalize and capture all these information in these moments, then definitely become a Hexagon. Join the community. Learn how to stake. If you don't understand it, come to the channel. Check out previous videos. We have tons of help in our ecosystem as well. So that's going to be it for the deep dive of Hex crypto journey over the years. We hope you found this information helpful. We hope you found it informative, and of course stay ahead of the game by keeping an eye on the latest in developments through Hex, through my channel, by clicking like, subscribe, and that little notification bell. Don't miss out on the opportunity to invest in one of the fastest growing cryptocurrencies in the market today. And thank you as always for watching the video. Have a great weekend. Peace. All right, well, anyways. All right, I'm still trying to work that out, right? And let me get back to the chat right now. Oh, goodness gracious me. To everyone still watching, I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. I was doing a quick little bit real fast. I'm trying to make it so that way we can, I can make some little edits and videos and then, you know, make shorter content per se and all that good stuff. So bear with me while we do all this, you know what I mean? What we have here. All right, but how's everyone's weekend going? Right, hit me up. What y'all got going on? What are you doing today? What's fun activity are y'all doing? Right, it's starting to be beautiful weather in Texas again, so you know might be a nice little disc golf day for me. But we'll probably end up taking pups out for adventures and doing a nice little family day back at the park because you know we haven't been able to do nothing the last few days. So. What do y'all got going on, right? Hit me up in the chat down below. Let me know what's happening. We're just doing a quick little like hangout sesh right toward the end of the video. You know, see if there's anything that I may have missed. See if there's something that you want to talk about. And folks, to everyone who is still watching, and you, if you stake your Hex, be sure to claim your Hedron before you end your stake. I gotta talk about this again because I made the one mistake back in December where I ended a stake and forgot to claim my Hedron, and that was something that I had a 10x bonus on my Hedron because there was a portion of time where you could have a bonus as well, and beat myself up over that. You know, but again, we have to make mistakes in order to learn, and that's the mistake that I had to learn. And hopefully I don't make that mistake again. And hopefully I can help y'all from making that same mistake by just talking about it every so often. Orion says, my wife is making a cake, so we have somewhere to put all these green candles. Hey, let's go. Yes, sir. I absolutely love that. Bring out the green candles. Yeah. So Richard Hart, when he first launched Hex, he actually came out with a green candelabra. That was where it all happened. That was the jam back in the day. And then when Hex reached a penny, was it a penny? Was it 10 cents? When Hex reached 10 cents, he lit the candles. And I think that got like so much action. And then he was talking about lighting them again when Hex reaches $1, if I'm not mistaken. So he sees it reaching $1 because he's already saying he's going to light some candles again. And that's just saying there's a possibility that it reaches $1. No guarantees in crypto, no guarantees in life. But pretty freaking interesting. Let me see here. Yeah, this little candle right here. Let me see if I can go back and find that particular tweet. I think it was Crypto Coffee who made the tweet, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just see if I can quickly find. There's so many things. People tweet so much. Alright, let me see if I can just do a search for it. Crypto Coffee. Where was that tweet? Tweet, tweet, tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Can I just type in green candle after it? I don't know how to. Like I said, I don't know how to Twitter. Crypto, coffee, 369, green candles. Yeah, no, I don't know how to search for it. Anyways, he had one that he had made a little post about, and it was quite hilarious. You know what I mean? Because like Richard Hart did it December 2nd, and very interesting. You know what I mean? That he would bust out the green candles, you know, around that time whenever Hex was launching. So wondering if he's gonna do something with PulseChain again. Wondering if he's gonna release something crazy for us. You know, some little hint like a new candelabra or something. I don't know. Always curious about these little hints that he drops. You know, like the dude will just randomly drop a couple of freaking things, and you know, like you got this one here. RH made it public of public release of testnet v3 is very close. Can you confirm that is the case? You know, they said great question. Yes, it's close. Incredible dudes and dudettes. Well, I hope that cake is absolutely delicious, Orion. Like, definitely would. I'm gonna be making. I say it, and it always sounds like you're gonna be making weed brownies, but I'm gonna be making brownies later because we have had such a hard time buying eggs, dude. Eggs are freaking ridiculous to buy, which is like so sad. My wife's been wanting chickens for freaking ever. And like this is actually like the final point where it actually makes sense to have chickens. You can just have your fucking fresh eggs every single day without worries. And our neighbors actually now have chickens, so it makes her want chickens even more. But I'm still putting up a good fight. You know, no chickens yet. So, we'll see. We shall see. I just went through so much freaking Twitter. I just got like Twitter overload, man. I don't Twitter that much. For good reasons, because sometimes it's just sad. But I really wanted to find the freaking green candles, man. I could have sworn he just had it and it was a recent thing, because there's no way that I just saw it. You know, that was a post from so long ago. Alright, whatever. No more Twitter. No more Twitter. Well, again, I hope that cake is freaking delicious, my friend. We have 17 likes in the video. Thank you so much to all the love for every single one who clicked the like in the video. Makes me so happy. Makes me so happy. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to go hop off. I'm going to go get ready for the little adventure day. Oh, I just freaking found it. I would find it, right? You know when you... I'm going to talk about this for a second because fuck it, why not? You know, whenever you're looking for something that's lost and you're like, dude, I don't know where I put it. I don't know where it is. Like, you know, for example, like, you know, I go disc golf, so I'll throw a frisbee and I'm like, oh shit, I don't know where it is, or I don't know where it went. You literally always have to give up. Like, and I mean, it's a weird freaking thing, but you truly have to like just give up. You can't do it by accident and be like, oh, I give up. Where's it at? You have to like literally in your soul, in your heart of hearts. This is what I'm talking about with like manifestation and stuff. You have to like truly just give up looking for it. And then when you freaking give up looking for it, it always just appears. The weirdest freaking shit ever. But that just happened right now once again. So I mean, still to this day, it holds true. But this is that tweet right here. Who's ready for some erect green candles? And folks, this is December 2nd of 2019. This is the launch of HEX. And he busted this candelabra out. And he said this little message. Who's ready for some erect green candles? Dude, if he says some shit like that, I can't even imagine. And again, like this is, you know, Crypto Coffee saying what an epic piece of history. Like, yeah, this candelabra is now here to stay. And he still has it in his streams and stuff like that. Like, so I can't wait for this moment in time, because he's going to say something like this. And he's going to be like, who's ready for some erect green candles? And we're going to be like, fucking PulseChain. And then the price of HEX is gonna do just like wild things that are just gonna blow everyone's mind out the freaking water, and no one's even gonna be ready for the possibility of what's actually gonna be happening here in the very near future. But guys, it's been an absolute blast. Astray, you're just joining at the end of the stream. I am gonna be hopping off. It is the weekend. Gonna go do some little adventure time with the family. And so I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend as well, guys. I will be back streaming tomorrow once again, as I do a daily stream live every single day. So if you want, feel free to come on, like, subscribe to the channel. If you want to join the Patreon, you can. The link is down below in the description. It gets you access to the profit-taking strategy calculator and much, much more. A nice little community that we have in Discord and all that good stuff. So I look forward to seeing every single one of you beautiful people tomorrow. If not, I will catch you the next time you join the stream. Hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon, wonderful day, wonderful weekend. Peace.